more airdrop claims, under the radar alpha, NFT airdrops, and one of the most obvious plays on the market near the end of the video. Let's get started. Let's start with Solana and Wallet Connect. We have extra eligibility claims for the tokens for everyone who has been using Backpack Exchange. So if you're a Challenger, Diamond, or Platinum, not in League, in Backpack Exchange, you're eligible to claim Wallet Connect tokens. Also, if you have traded at least 3 days during the bonus rounds, you will also be eligible. This has actually been a very good idea because we can speculate in multiplayers all we want, but people who have traded, for example, at least 1 million in volume with a positive PNL have earned between $300 to $500 just from that. So it is definitely worthwhile to still trade on Backpack. And the only thing is that this is very time sensitive. You need to do so by connecting the wallets by June 18th. And another criteria is for Jupiter voters. If you have voted for all 24 proposals, then your wallet address is also eligible for this particular part of the Wallet Connect airdrop. And finally, there's also going to be some extra rewards for everyone in the ecosystem using Phantom or Soulflare, and Solana Mobile also is going to get an allocation. Next claim is coming from Sonium and a Star Network. If you participated in their campaign and you have collected at least 1000 Star contributor score, you actually have an OG badge coming your way. This one you don't need to claim, but the tokens that are reward for this participation, you actually have to claim manually. As you can see, this wallet has only a couple dollars in liquidity, but even that has accumulated 8 of these ACS points. So if you have followed the rule of having at least $100 to $300 in liquidity for everything that you do, then you should have this badge in very easy manner. And another airdrop we have is from Infinex and ZkSync stakers. If you have connected your wallet, and even if you haven't, you can still do that today and automatically qualify, as long as you're staking Kaito and you connect that wallet on the settings tab and make sure to go to the connected accounts section, then you will actually be able to simply claim your airdrop in the airdrops tab. Also, if you're staking Athena, there's probably one of the better places to park your Athena tokens or SUSD or USD. You're also getting the airdrops from Kaito, not from Kaito, from Infinex all the time. It's just claimable every couple months directly in the app. And all the details about the specific ZkSync airdrop are actually going to be in the blog post. Basically, they are giving about 500,000 EU patrons to eligible users, and this is the first round is going to be 20% of the airdrop. Let's jump into SUI now. We have the first native SUI NFT marketplace coming up in about 11 days. And now all we can do is join their Discord and get whitelisted. And you can do so by simply joining Discord, passing the verification. They do hint at some rewards for early users, and they're not specific about whether it's going to be points, access, or surprises. But they say that early activity won't go unnoticed. And another SUI update is also coming from SUI Overflow 2025. This is a voting site where you can find some early development projects from the SUI ecosystem, whether it's in AI payments, wallets, or anything. And if you vote, you should be able to vote because it requires minimal SUI activity on chain. And if you vote, you have a chance to win $25,000 if your vote actually passes. And you can vote for one of each category. Maybe if you are sometimes like me and don't really do anything at all before actually doing it, then you should know that this is for each track. So you can vote for both AI track, you can vote for the payments, infra, tooling, degen, DeFi. All of these tracks require one vote, and I can't tell you for which one to go for, but try to find one that you have actually heard of before. For example, in DeFi, the only one I've heard of is Magma Finance. So I'm going to cast my vote for this one and just hope for the best. And if you've noticed the common theme, most of these airdrops are very time sensitive, and sometimes YouTube videos are not fast enough to actually recognize this fact. Therefore, we have a Discord where we discuss all these things in real time, and you have announcements tab and airdrop distribution tab to make sure you never miss a single claim. However, probably the most important aspect of it all is to actually talk with people who are doing this as a full-time job, as a career, and understand the basics and understand the in-depth of every topic. If this is something that interests you, you can join on the subscriptions tab of our official website, and you can find all the links of everything we always talk about in the first link in the description of every video. Monthly, yearly plans, as well as an error track notification to keep you organized. And finally, the NFT collection that is generating a 10% monthly yield in tokens. This is something that we are very proud of, and it's been going for quite a while now through thick and thin, and we are very happy with the results Chris is bringing. Now, a couple NFT airdrops. If you're farming Zerion, you have their Zero Colony game, which is giving all Zerion DNA holders eligibility to mint a Zer's NFT, which you can then use to claim other people's land, essentially, by raiding and claiming their colony tokens. You can do this daily. Now, the other one is Aegis. Aegis is the new Bitcoin-backed stablecoin, which is giving a certain part of their supply, supposedly, for eligible holders of CryptoPunk, Suzuki, Pudgies, or other prestigious NFT collections. And this is basically going through a special role in their Discord. And the other one is TAC. TAC is a purpose-built blockchain for eligibility for EVM dApps to access TON blockchain. So some kind of integration works, but all of these things are very time sensitive because, for example, this mint is happening between June 17th and 18th on the premier TON marketplace for NFTs, which is GetGems, and it is for everyone who has any kind of EVM activity. But of course, since there's millions of wallets eligible, you will need to have substantial activity across many different blockchains, Arbitrum, Optimism, and many others. This is also not free. It's going to cost you 30 TON tokens. So keep that in mind, that it's going to be about $100 if you want to speculate, because there's only going to be 10,000 units for this one at least. Next update is coming from Fragmetric. They're also rolling out a 10K NFT collection called Topu Inc. And this is for everyone who has been with the project since the early days. And if you have collected a lot of the Sang points, or if you've simply participated in their Discord, you might get a whitelist allocation. There is a whitelist allocation which is going to both Frag and STEM criteria, which is explained here. But there's also a discounted price for partners and all F points holders of 1 Solana. There's also going to be a public mint for 1.5 Sol if you believe this is going to be much more beneficial in the future. And the other NFT collection we also have from Levels USD platform. That was the place we talked about before about stablecoin deposits. And if you have participated in this one, you could pay just the gas on Ethereum mainnet to simply qualify for the soulbound NFT. And of course, soulbound means that you cannot trade it on the open market, but it could have some intrinsic value in the past. And that is also the deal with this for TON ecosystem. This 30 TON NFT mint is also soulbound, so you will not be able to actually trade this one or the Levels one on the open market. And before we jump into the most obvious play in the market, we have to talk about Magic Newton. This project seems to be really dominating the mindshare of the last couple of weeks by simply being on top of the Kaito Yaps leaderboard, but also integrating with some really crucial partners such as Virtuals and many others. But most importantly, they're going to have probably a very good airdrop. So if you still haven't done anything with the platform, then you should definitely at least try to interact a little bit on the website. We might be doing a full updated guide on this one in the future, but for now, make sure not to fade it. So what is the play? Never financial advice, and you always do your own research, but for me, it is most obviously Hyperliquid. So Hype token has just broken another all-time high, absolutely ripping almost 5x from the lows of early April. And with everything that they're doing, with the revenue generated, they have annualized revenue of about 800 million, generating about 2 to 3 million per day. Working product, very sleek UI, and just simply a market leader in decentralized perpetuals for now. We will see if this stays the same for the future, but for now, many airdrops are already confirmed for stakers. So if we get any kind of dip, of course, I'm not telling you to buy at the all-time highs, but if we get any kind of dips, it is probably worthwhile to continue getting your bags loaded. This one is currently about rank 11, but I can see it in top 10 very soon. And a little bit of macro just for the end. If you're wondering when maybe the top of the bull cycle would be, previous cycles have always indicated that this happens when the 200 weekly EMA is actually peaking on the previous all-time high. So for 213, 217, and 2021, it keeps getting slightly delayed, but in general, it seems to be one of the indicators that you can use with your other indicators, such as the ones we've talked about many times in the past, such as the wallets being the top Coinbase, top downloads in the App Store and in the Android store, like Coinbase Wallet, Phantoms, and many others. And that is a wrap for today's updates. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section and in our Discord. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.